Let's begin by offering our respects to ISKCON founder Acharya and our preeminent Shiksha Guru, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Okay, so we welcome all of you to our weekly Krishna book classes. Thank you very much for joining. We have with us here Ranjit Das, Shantaram and Sheetal Latkar, Meenakshi, Auntie Neeta, Adarsh, Aja, Ayush, Devina, Dipti Adnani, Divya, Durga Prasad, Gokul Priya Devidasi, Hari Kumar,
Recording in progress.
Jagrati, Doli Nandwani, Kamala Nandini Mata. We have Anjali Karmani, Kumar Ramgulam, Manju, Meenakshi, Naresh Budrani, Nikita, T. Alamelu, Priyanka Jha. Then my husband is there. We have Ritu Lalwani, Shailesh Latkar, Shivani, Shobha Ramchandani, Shreya Kalaria, Shri Radhe Hari Devidasi, Swapna Latkar, Tejal Shah, Vidya Ashwin, and Vivansh. Okay. So, what did we see in the previous class?
Good.
They go to Mahavishnu to get a form, right? Birth of Krishna. They want to speed up the process of birth of Krishna.
Who goes?
The demigods.
The Brahma and the demigods.
Okay. Why?
Because
Speed up the birth.
because the demigod of earth was upset that many demon-like kings were ruling the planet, so she went to tell Brahma in the form of a cow. Then when Brahma, he went to the milk ocean where she Kadashai Vishnu, I
Which
think.
Vishnu?
I forgot it.
I think Garbhodaksha
Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Kshirodakashai Vishnu. He's on the ocean of?
But he's on the shore of the ocean of milk. Then
He's on the ocean of milk. The demigods, Lord Brahma, they stand on the shore of the ocean of milk, and then they are able to communicate with him. Okay.
Then, because there was one specific demon who was Kamsa, they wanted to kill him. So Vishnu told them that he will come in the form of into the earth as a form of a child, and then all the demigods go into a mother's womb to help with the process.
Yes, all the demigods, they accompany, so Krishna or Shirodaksha Vishnu tells them that you have to take birth. All you devatas, you have to take birth in the different families if in these dynasties, Yadu dynasty, and accompany him in his leelas, So Shirodaksha Vishnu is ready to help. In fact, he already knew of this precarious situation in which Mother Earth is. Okay, then what happened to Kamsa?
Because he
What's
did
that
this
story?
miracle.
Who gets married? Devaki and Vasudev get married, and then there is this voice in the sky who tells them that Devaki's eighth son, yes, will kill Kamsa. So then what does Kamsa want to do immediately?
Put the jail.
No, he wanted to kill Devaki.
Wanted to kill Devaki.
Yes, he wanted to immediately kill Devaki, and then Vasudev tried different ways to convince Kamsa not to kill
his own sister.
Devaki, right? So he tried, what did we discuss? Sam, Dam, Dand, and Bhed. What did he try?
He tried telling him with polite words, but with good advice, and I forgot the third.
Okay, who else can answer?
And fear. He invoked fear in it.
He invoked fear, very nice, by telling him that
Your reputation will be at stake if you kill.
exactly his reputation will be affected if he's going to kill Devaki, right? And then did that convince Kamsa? What actually convinced him?
Try to glorify himself.
Glorifying.
He tried to glorify him as well, but what is it that that worked in that case? What actually
He
offered to submit the child when he was born.
Yes, when Vasudev said that I will bring my children as soon as they are born to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. That's what actually convinced Kamsa and prevented him from killing Devaki. So did Vasudev fulfill his promise? Did he take his
Yes.
children?
Yes.
Yes.
So what did Kamsa do when the first child was born?
He took him and killed him.
He left him go at first.
Yes, he left him go at first. Correct. He let him go at first. And because he told him that, no, actually, I have no danger from this child. My danger is only from your eighth child. So you can take your child back. But then what happened?
Narada came and spoke to him.
Narada came in. said that he
spoke
had
to him
to,
and told him that there are demigods taking birth all around him, and he got scared and he thought that this was a
because
bad
Narada
decision.
Muni said that so they could
Okay,
speed up
Vivansh,
the
Vivansh,
process.
when somebody is talking, you should not cut them. Please,
My
you
bad.
need to practice some restraint, okay? Somebody is answering, you should not cut the person. Yes, please continue.
So since he was aware from Narad Muni that the demigods were taking birth, he got to know that secret, and then he acted basis his instincts on that secret, and he decided to kill all the children, and he decided to jail both Devki and Vasudev, and then whenever the children would be born, he would kill each and every one of them.
Exactly. So how many children has Kamsa already killed?
6.
6. And he's also imprisoned his own
Sister and
His own father.
His
His
own
own father,
father, yes, Ugrasena. He has
Ugrasena.
also imprisoned Ugrasena because he wants to be this most powerful king in the kingdom. So this is where
Yes.
we stopped in the previous class. So now we will see chapter number 2. So chapter 2 of Krishna book is titled Prayers by the Demigods for Lord Krishna in the Womb. For Lord Krishna in the Womb. So it is described
You are
how
able to hear.
Kamsa has now created alliances with other demoniac kings. No? So all these names are mentioned: Pralambasura, Bakasura, Chanura, Trinavarta, Agasura. So all these demons Kamsa has made alliances with, and actually we will see as we progress in the Krishna book how Kamsa sends these demons to kill
And Krishna.
Krishna, and how Krishna very effortlessly kills them. So he's also created this alliance with Jarasandha, who was a king of Magad, now currently known as Bihar. So like that, he has made his position very, very powerful. Kamsa has made his position very, very powerful by creating all these alliances with all these demoniac kings. And he is now very, very strong. And he's behaving most unfavorably, most inimically towards the Yadu dynasty, into which Krishna was to take birth. So he has created havoc, and he's being very, very unfavorable towards the entire Yadu dynasty. And because this Yadu dynasty is being harassed by Kamsa, what they did was they took shelter in different states. So they have scattered, and their solidarity has been broken. They have been scattered in different states so that they can save themselves from the uh, the injustice of Kamsa. And even when Kamsa was killing the 6 babies of Devaki and Vasudeva, one after the other, many friends and relatives of Kamsa approached him and requested him to discontinue these heinous activities, but all of them became worshippers of Kamsa. So it is described how some of them decided to be with Kamsa because they knew that if they are with Kamsa, sometime in the future, they will be able to see Lord Krishna. So that's the reason why some devotees also decided to be with Kamsa because they were thinking that they will be able to see Krishna in the future. Now Devaki has become pregnant for the 7th time. So 6 children have been killed. Now she is pregnant for the 7th time. And now the personality in her womb is Ananta. Ananta Shesha is within her womb. And she was able to feel that, yes, this is not an ordinary child. No? So she was very, very, very happy, but also very sad at the same time. She was very joyful because she could see that Lord Vishnu has taken shelter within her womb. But she was sorry because she thought that as soon as the child is going to come out, Kamsa is going to kill him. So that time Krishna, what he does is he ordered the appearance of Yoga Maya, his internal potency. So see, who is Yoga Maya? Yoga Maya is Krishna's internal potency. Krishna has internal potency and external potency. Internal potency is Yoga Maya. External potency is Mahamaya. What does Yoga Maya do? Yoga Maya takes devotees closer to Krishna. She creates situations where she takes devotees closer to Krishna. And what Mahamaya does, she takes devotees away from Krishna. Yeah, Hari Kumar, you have a question?
Why they see? I agree. He troubled Yadu dynasty, but why that other dynasty, Boja and Anantaksha? I think I don't remember. Yeah. So why he's troubling those dynasty as well?
Because the demigods have taken birth in these other dynasties.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that information was given to him by Narada. Okay. So where are we now? Oh God,
Internal, about the slide,
here.
internal potency.
So Krishna is the Lord of the universe, but he is especially the Lord of the Yadu dynasty. What name of Krishna means he's the Lord of the universe?
Janaradana.
Janardana. No.
Jagannath.
Jagannath. Yes, Jagannath. No, Jagannath, Lord of the universe. And Lord of the Yadu dynasty?
Yadunath.
Yadunath, yes. Okay, so see here, more information on Yogamaya. Yogamaya is the principal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Vedas, it is stated that the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has multi-potencies. No, all the different potencies are acting externally and internally. And Yogamaya is the chief of all potencies. So Yogamaya is the chief of all of Krishna's potencies. And the Lord has ordered the appearance of Yogamaya in the land of Rajamovi in Vrindavan. So Krishna has ordered Yogamaya to please appear, no, and do the needful. So what is it that he wants to? What is it that he wants her to do? He wants her to transfer Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. So Rohini, one of the wives of Vasudeva, was residing at the house of King Nanda and Queen Yashoda. So Rohini is one of Vasudeva's wife, and she is under the shelter of King Nanda and Queen Yashoda. And not only Rohini, but many others in the other dynasties were scattered all over to escape from the atrocities of Kamsa. So the Lord thus informed Yogamaya. Under the imprisonment of Kamsa are Devaki and Vasudeva, and at the present moment, my plenary expansion, Shesha, is within the womb of Devaki. You can arrange the transfer of Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. After this arrangement, I am personally going to appear in the womb of Devaki with my full potency. So Krishna personally appeared, no, in the womb of Devaki with all his full potencies, internal, external, all his potencies. He is there present in the womb. And then after that, he has another role for Yogamaya. He says, after you have transferred Shesha from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, then the other service for her is that she has to appear as the daughter of Nanda and Yashoda in Vrindavan. So, Mother Yashoda had given birth to Yogamaya at that time. So this is extra information. You can read this when I share the slides in the group. But see here, to understand this, actually, the Lord's potency is one. We are saying internal and external, Yogamaya and Mahamaya, but the Lord's potency is one, exactly as electric potency is one, although it can act both to cool and heat. The Lord's potency acts in both the spiritual and material world. So Yogamaya deals with devotees. She is dealing with devotees, devotion in the spiritual world, and Mahamaya is dealing with demons. So Yogamaya cannot even see a demon like Kamsa. On the other hand, Mahamaya cannot deal with devotees. So whenever it is, it's the subject matter has got to do with devotees and the Lord, it is Yogamaya who's going to act. And wherever demons like Kamsa have to be dealt with, then it is Mahamaya. So therefore, Yashoda gave birth to Yogamaya, but the child that Kamsa tried to kill was actually Mahamaya. Because Kamsa cannot see Yogamaya. And Yashoda is a devotee, so in her case, she is not going to give birth to Mahamaya. So it's the same potency, but it is acting in different ways. Exactly as electricity works in both a heater and a cooler. So this also you can read later. Let's come back to Krishna book. Since you will appear as my contemporary sister, and since you will quickly satisfy desires for sense gratification, people within the world will worship you with all kinds of valuable presentations. So this is why we worship Durga Devi. No? And here you can see Krishna is giving the different names of Durga Devi. She would be known under different names like Durga, Bhadrakali, Vijaya, etc., etc. So these are the different names of Durga. So Krishna and Yogamaya appeared as brother and sister, the supreme powerful and the supreme power. So Krishna and Yogamaya, powerful and supreme power. Now who is powerful and who is the power?
Krishna is the powerful and Yogamaya is the power.
No, it's the other way. Yogamaya is powerful and Krishna's supreme power.
See, although there is no clear distinction between the powerful and the power, power is always subordinate to the powerful. Those who are materialistic are worshippers of the power. So see, Durga Devi, she represents power, Shakti, we say Shakti. So materialists are worshippers of the power. So you will see those who have materialistic desires mostly, when they want their materialistic desires to be fulfilled, then they worship Durga Devi or they worship Devatas because they want their desires to be fulfilled. But if one wants pure devotion, see, when we go to a temple and we ask for something and we say, if this particular desire is fulfilled, then I will feed, say 100 people, or I will distribute 100 plates of prasadam, or I will sponsor the feast, or I will we promise that I will do this if you fulfill this particular desire of mine. So such kind of prayers are not called pure bhakti, because we are expecting something in return from the Lord. So it's like a business deal, but pure bhakti means, oh my dear Lord, you can do whatever you want with me as you like. I only want to please you. I only want to serve you. This is the mood of pure devotion. This is the mood of pure devotion. But what is going on mostly uh, in demigod worship is, people like to pray to the demigods to get their materialistic desires fulfilled. Maybe somebody wants to have a child, maybe somebody wants to have a seat in a medical college, maybe somebody wants to have good business or whatever. So these are all materialistic desires. So see, those who are materialistic are worshippers of the power, but those who are transcendentalists are worshippers of the powerful. Krishna is the supreme powerful and Durga is the supreme power within the material world. Actually, people in Vedic culture worship both the powerful and the power. The worshipper of Durga or external energy of Krishna may achieve all kinds of material success very easily, but anyone who wants to be elevated transcendentally must engage in worshipping the powerful in Krishna consciousness. The Lord also declared to Yogamaya, my plenary expansion, Ananta Shesha, is within the womb of Devaki. On account of being forcibly attracted to the womb of Rohini, he will be known as Sankarshan. So this is another name of Ananta Shesha. He is called Sankarshan because of being forcibly attracted to the womb of Rohini. And he will be the source of all spiritual power. So therefore his name is Balaram. Bal means power. So he's the source of spiritual power. That's why he's called Balaram. And by which one can attain the highest bliss of life, which is called Ramana. Therefore, the plenary portion of Ananta will be known after his appearance either as Sankarshan or as Balaram. These are the meanings of these two names of Ananta Shesha. So it is stated in the Upanishads that one cannot attain the supreme platform of self-realization without being sufficiently favored by Balaram. See, Balaram, he represents the spiritual master. Balaram is the original spiritual master. He is the original guru. So one cannot attain the favor of the Lord without attaining the favor of Balaram. We cannot approach Krishna without approaching a bona fide guru. So Balaram is said to be the source of all the bona fide gurus who come. They're all coming from Balaram. So therefore, it is described how Bal does not mean physical strength, but actually it is spiritual strength which is infused by Balaram or by Sankarshan. And he's also the power which sustains all the planets in their different positions. In the modern times, the scientists call it the law of gravity, but actually the planets are in space only because of the power or potency of Balaram. So he's the source of spiritual power or the original spiritual master. And the spiritual master is a representative of Balaram. So all the bona fide gurus, bona fide spiritual masters, they are all representing actually Balaram. So the spiritual master is the manifestation of the mercy of Krishna. So the guru is nothing but Krishna's mercy for us, so that the guru can help us cross this vast ocean of birth and death. So now Yogamaya is going to fulfill the instructions that she has received from Krishna. And what she does is she puts Devaki and Rohini under her spell. She puts them under Yoga Nidra because both of them at that time they were sleeping. And then when she transferred the child from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, everybody thought that Devaki's seventh pregnancy was a miscarriage. So now there is confusion. They are thinking that, oh, now she had a miscarriage. So the next pregnancy is going to be the seventh child or the eighth child. No? So there was a confusion at that time. Then after that, after this child has been transferred, then now Krishna is going to appear. See, after this arrangement, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is always ready to protect his unalloyed devotees. Unalloyed devotees. What does that term unalloyed devotees mean?
Not, not
Devotees
pure.
that don't deviate from the path of devotional service and that see Krishna and serve them only at one attention, complete.
Yes. Yes, unalloyed means that which has nothing mixed, no pure devotees, one who has no tinge of any material desire. So unalloyed means pure devotees. So who's always ready to protect his unalloyed devotees, entered within the mind of Vasudeva as the Lord of the whole creation and with full inconceivable potencies. It is understood in this connection that Lord Krishna first of all situated himself in the unalloyed heart of Vasudeva. So Vasudeva has a pure heart, no? Pure heart. He's a pure devotee. So he is situated, Krishna first of all situated himself in the unalloyed heart of Vasudeva and was then transferred to the heart of Devaki. He was not put into the womb of Devaki by seminal discharge. This is what we discussed in the previous class. Krishna was not conceived the way children are conceived now. So he was transferred, as Srila Prabhupada writes here, from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his inconceivable potency, can appear in any way. It is not necessary for him to appear in the ordinary way by seminal injection within the womb of a woman. So Krishna is inconceivable. He has inconceivable potency. What name of Krishna means that he is inconceivable? We cannot understand him. The name starts with an A.
Is it Ajyut?
Achyut.
Ajyut?
Achyut. Achyut.
No.
Adhokshaja.
Inconceivable. Achintya. Achintya means he is inconceivable. Adhokshaja means he is beyond the range of Adhokshaja, beyond the range of sense perception. Beyond the range of sense perception, that's the exact meaning of the word Adhokshaja. Okay, so see here, the real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the 7th month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in the Hari Vamsha. At midnight, while Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced as if in a dream that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "O auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankarshan." So even Rohini actually at that time was 7 months pregnant when Anantashesha was transferred from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. So Rohini also at that time was 7 months pregnant.
Then what happens to the child in Rohini's womb?
No, that child was just replaced. That's all. That's all we know.
We don't know what happens.
No, the child was just replaced in the womb. Okay. When Vasudeva was sustaining the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, he appeared just like the glowing sun, whose shining rays are always unbearable and scorching to the common man. The form of the Lord, situated in the pure, unalloyed heart of Vasudeva, is not different from the original form of Krishna. So Krishna himself has appeared there in the heart of Vasudeva. So therefore, he is appearing like the glowing sun. Of course, because if the Lord is there personally present, then he is going to be glowing. So therefore, his heart is called a dham. Dham is a place where the Lord resides. No, so therefore, these holy places are called dham. Jagannath Puri Dham, Vrindavan Dham. And now Vasudev's heart is a dham because Krishna is personally residing in his heart. So thus the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full potencies was transferred from the mind of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki, exactly as the setting sun's rays are transferred to the full moon rising in the east. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thus entered the body of Devaki from the body of Vasudeva without being subject to any of the conditions of an ordinary living entity. Since Krishna was there, it is to be understood that all his plenary portions, such as Narayan and incarnations like Narsimhadev, Varaha, were with him. So Krishna, when he comes with all his plenary expansions. So Devaki at that time, she was looking like suppressed fire or misused education. So there are two examples given here. See now the Supreme Lord Krishna himself is in the womb of Devaki, but she was looking like suppressed fire. Suppressed fire. So if you have fire that is kept in a jug, so people around cannot really appreciate that. No, the rays and all are not visible. So therefore that the rays of the fire cannot be very much appreciated. And misused education, if one has knowledge but is misusing that knowledge or not using that knowledge for the benefit of people, for the benefit of people in Krishna consciousness, then what is the use of that knowledge? So these two examples are given just as how one cannot appreciate suppressed fire or misused education. Although Devaki was pregnant with Krishna, with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, since she was confined within the house of Kamsa, her beauty, her transcendental beauty was not visible to anyone. But there was one person who could see the transcendental beauty of Devaki, and that person was Kamsa. No? So Kamsa, however, saw the transcendental beauty of his sister, and he understood that there was something wonderful within the womb of Devaki because she was glowing. So he understood that there is something very wonderful here. So now he's thinking, what is to be done? What to do with Devaki? Surely Vishnu or Krishna is within her womb. So it is certain that Krishna has come to execute the mission of the demigods. And even if I immediately kill Devaki, his mission cannot be frustrated. Kamsa knew very well that no one can frustrate the purpose of Vishnu. Any intelligent man can understand that the laws of God cannot be violated. His purpose will be served in spite of all impediments offered by the demons. Kamsa thought, if I kill Devaki at the present moment, Vishnu will enforce his supreme will even more vehemently. To kill Devaki now would just be a most abominable act. No one desires to kill his reputation, even if in an awkward situation. So Kamsa is concerned for his reputation. He does not want his reputation to be spoiled. If I kill Devaki now, my reputation will be spoiled. Why? Because Devaki is a woman and she is under my shelter and she is pregnant. So see, three things here. First of all, she is a woman. Secondly, she is under his shelter. And three, she is also pregnant. So he's saying, if I kill her, immediately my reputation and the results of all my pious activities and my duration of life will be finished. Kamsa is thinking. See, according to Vedic culture, there are 5 categories of people who should always be protected. Who do you think they are?
Woman, child, sadhus,
Yes, women, children, saintly people,
Old people,
old
elderly
people,
people,
elderly people.
Teachers.
5.
Teachers. Teachers of the
gurus.
spiritual.
cow.
Cows, yes, cows.
Oh.
Very good. Why? Why should they be protected? First of all, Brahmanas should be protected because they're the teachers of the society. The saintly people, the Brahmanas, they should be protected because they're the teachers of the society. Then cows, because they give us milk. With milk, we can make so many different products. Even the cow's urine and stool and milk has so many medicinal properties. It can cure so many diseases. It can keep us healthy. Yes, Shailesh.
I just wanted to ask, he is a demonic person, Kamsa, and he has killed 6 children. Now, why does he think about his reputation after killing 6 children?
Yes, see, demons, they are known for being less intelligent. So demons are less intelligent. He didn't understand that my reputation will be anyway destroyed by killing 6 children. But now he's thinking that my reputation will be destroyed by killing Devaki, who is my sister. She's under my protection. She's also pregnant. So demons are not intelligent, and what demons say is not the absolute truth. Okay. All right. Then Brahmanas, cows, and protection of women maintains the chastity of society. Why? Because if women are chaste, then the society's chastity also can be maintained, because it is the mother, the women who teach their children. No, it is said that the mothers are the first gurus of every living entity. So therefore, the future of the society depends a lot on what the mother teaches the child, because she is the first guru of the child. Then protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage. Because if such protection of children begins from the very day of begetting a child by the purificative process of Garbhadhana Samskara, the beginning of pure life. So what is this Garbhadhana Samskara? We know that there are different samskaras that we follow, that we need to follow during our lifetime. No? So Garbhadhana Samskara is the samskara that is done before the child is conceived. So it helps put the mother and the father in the right frame of mind, in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, in the right consciousness, so that they can attract a saintly soul in the womb of the mother. So the Garbhadhana Samskara is done to make sure that you can invoke a good soul in the womb of the mother. So that way, you give the opportunity, you give human body to the saintly soul, so that he can finish up his business and go back home, back to Godhead in that lifetime itself. No, so like that, when we have children under Garbhadhana Samskara, then we are enabling the children to finish up their Krishna consciousness and go back home, back to God in that lifetime itself. And the protection of old men gives them a chance to prepare themselves for better life after death. So when we protect old men, so we are giving them the time to perfect their lives in whatever remaining time is there for them in that lifetime, so that they can get a higher destination at least, if not go back home, back to God. Yeah, Shailesh?
When is it? When is the Garbhadhana Sanskara to be done?
You need to call the Brahmana. The Brahmana will indicate you and teach you and help you. But otherwise, you can chant as many rounds as you can. The man and the woman, they chant as many rounds as possible, so that you are in the right frame of mind before the union takes place, so that that union will attract a good soul. See, the consciousness of the parents plays a big role in what kind of child the woman is going to conceive. If a child is going to be conceived on a Saturday night over a glass of whiskey, the consciousness of that child is going to be very different from someone who has been conceived after the parents have chanted many rounds of the Hare Krishna mantra, and then the union has taken place. But you can call a Brahmana, and a Brahmana will help you do the samskaras. For all the samskaras, Brahmanas are called home. Okay.
So this is after the child is conceived. This will not be of any help.
After the child is conceived, what's that?
This will not be of any help. Garbhadhana Sanskara.
No. This is done before
Yeah.
conception.
Got it.
Before conception.
Got it.
Okay, so now comes a further deliberated. A person who is too cruel is as good as dead. On account of his self-identification with the body, he must be degraded and pushed into the darkest region of hell. Kamsa thus meditated on the pros and cons of killing Devaki at that time. Kamsa finally decided not to kill Devaki right away, but to wait. No, so now he wants to wait. And now what has happened? His mind is completely absorbed in thinking about Krishna. So actually, we need to come to that level where we are completely absorbed in thinking about Krishna. And here Kamsa is doing the exact same thing. No, his mind is completely absorbed about thinking about Krishna, but he is thinking about Krishna in an unfavorable way, out of animosity. In an unfavorable way, he is thinking, and this is not the way we should think about Krishna. A devotee should always think about Krishna in a favorable way. not in an unfavorable way, like how Kamsa is thinking. Kamsa is also thinking of Krishna while sleeping, while walking, while eating, while working. In all situations of life, he was thinking about Krishna only at that time. He's not thinking about anything else. It's unfavorable.
Microphone.
Do we have any questions? Okay. At this time, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narada and followed by many other demigods, invisibly appeared in the house of Kamsa. So see, all these devatas here, they have appeared in the house of Kamsa. They began to pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in select verses, which are very pleasing to the devotees and which award fulfillment of their desires. The first verse they spoke acclaimed that the Lord is true to his vow. So see, these demigods have now appeared and they are offering prayers to Krishna in the womb of Devaki. The demigods could understand that the Lord has taken his residence within the womb of his mother, within the womb of Devaki, to fulfill his vow, and they were very glad that the Lord was appearing in order to fulfill his mission. What is the mission of Krishna? Why does he appear? What does he say in the Bhagavad Gita?
To kill, to
To establish
restore
the
protect
dharma.
dharma.
all the devotees, to kill all the demons, and to ensure religiousness in the material world and spiritual world.
To establish the dharma.
Dharma.
To establish dharma, to establish the principles of religion. Very nice. Which shloka is that?
परित्राणाय साधूनां
Yes.
Vinashaya Dushkritam.
दुष्कृतां
Yes.
धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय
Yes.
संभवामि युगे।
Sambhavami Yuge.
Yes, Jai. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. Then the demigods address the Lord. So now the demigods, all these devatas, they are offering prayers to Krishna. So they are addressing him as Satyam Param, or the supreme absolute truth. So they are saying that, oh Krishna, you are the supreme absolute truth, Satyam Param. He is the truth in all three phases of eternal time. So time is divided into past, present, and future. But Krishna is the absolute truth. Doesn't matter whether it is past or present or future. He is the absolute truth always. He is the eternal absolute truth. It does not change at all. It's not like a relative truth. Relative truth means it may be true under certain circumstances, but under some other circumstances, it may not be the truth. But Krishna is not relative truth. He is the supreme absolute truth. So if there is any truth within this material world, it emanates from the supreme truth, Krishna. Everything that comes, not only truth, but everything that comes, the origin is Krishna. Krishna is the source of all relative truths. Everything is coming from Krishna. So this material world is made of 5 principal elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And all such elements are emanations from Krishna. So these gross 5 elements, they are also coming from Krishna. Then there are subtle elements. Even the subtle elements are produced by Krishna. Subtle elements are what? Mind, intelligence, and false ego. The living entities who are working within this material world are products of his marginal potency. So this is another thing. We discussed how the living entities belong to Krishna's. We've discussed how Krishna has 2 energies, external and internal, right? So the living entities belong to Krishna's internal potency or external potency. The soul. We are the souls. So the soul
External
belongs to
potency.
Krishna's internal or external potency.
Internal potency.
Internal
Should be external
potency. Internal
potency.
potency, yes, very nice. So we actually belong to Krishna's internal or superior potency.
Yeah.
But having said that, we have the tendency to fall down. So we belong to Krishna's internal potency or superior energy, but we have the tendency to fall down. That's why we fell down into this material world. Now, because we have the tendency to fall down, therefore we belong to Krishna's marginal potency. Marginal potency. So if your statement is there that we belong to Krishna's internal energy, yes, it's true. It is correct. But if you want to be more specific, being his internal energy, because we are subject to fall down, we belong to Krishna's marginal potency. So many times in this, in the Shastras, you will read that living entities, jivas, belong to Krishna's internal energy. So yes, that is also correct. And marginal potency, that is also correct. In the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated the whole manifestation is a combination of 2 kinds of energies of Krishna, the superior energy and the inferior energy. The living entities are the superior energy, and the dead material elements are his inferior energy. So all that is material, all that you see in the material world, everything belongs to Krishna's inferior energy. But we, the Jivas, we belong to Krishna's superior energy, or to be more specific, marginal potency. So these are the verses in the Bhagavad Gita that is being referred to here. You can read this in the book. Yeah, we have a hand raised. Shreya?
Yes, Mataji. So by material products, does it mean like the mountains, rivers, and all that?
Yeah, the entire material manifestation, all these universes, all these 14 planetary systems, all that is material.
Except the living entities.
Yes, except the
Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The Katha Upanishad cites this example of the tree of material manifestation standing on the grounds of material nature. So see here, the material world is compared to this branch of the tree. Now in this tree, you can see there are two birds. Now this bird here is busy enjoying the fruits of the tree. Now some of these fruits are bitter and some of these fruits are sweet. This bird is busy enjoying the fruits of material nature. And this bird here is patiently, this bird is not interested in eating the fruits of the tree. This bird is patiently waiting for this bird to turn its face towards this other bird. So this bird that is enjoying the fruits of the tree is us, the jiva. So we are so busy enjoying this material world, the fruits of this material world, that we have turned our face away from the Lord. This is the super soul or the Paramatma or Krishna. So we have turned our face away from Krishna because we are busy enjoying the fruits of this material world. And in this material world, sometimes there is happiness and sometimes there is distress. Sometimes the fruits are sweet, sometimes the fruits are bitter. So the Paramatma is there in our hearts. In our hearts, the soul and the super soul both are residing in our hearts. So the Paramatma is there in our hearts to guide us, to tell us, to accompany us, but we have turned our face away from Krishna. So the Paramatma is patiently waiting there that someday we will be frustrated by eating these fruits and we will turn our face towards Krishna. So this is the example that is given in the Katha Upanishad. So now in the Bhagavad Gita, there is another analogy that is given to compare the spiritual world and the material world. So if you see this picture, this part is the spiritual world, no? And this material world here is compared to a upside down tree, an upside down tree. So just as how if you have a tree at the banks of a river, no, the real tree is at the banks of the river, and in the river you can see the shadow of that tree. So when you see the shadow of that tree in the river, that is inverted. The tree is inverted. So this material world is called as an inverted, perverted reflection of the spiritual world. So all that is there in the material world is there in the spiritual world, because the shadow will have all that is there in the original, right? But it is only a shadow. So what is the pure qualities are there in the spiritual world, but the inverted, perverted reflection of those pure qualities are in the material world. For example, what is love in the spiritual world is lust in the material world. So you can see that this material world, the topmost part here of this material manifestation here is Lord Brahma, because he's on the topmost planet within the universe. And you have these different branches. The taste of the fruits are of four kinds: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and ultimately liberation. So this is nothing but dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma means religiosity. Here religiosity means material religiosity, not pure devotional service. Now what is material religiosity? Who can say?
Is it
when
like,
you when
go
you
ahead,
ask
Shreya.
for something, when you ask
Yeah.
for something and you offer something in return.
Yes, exactly. It's not pure bhakti, no. When you want something from the Lord and then you offer something to the Lord in return. So that is material religiosity. So that is dharma. Then when one engages in material religiosity, then it leads to economic development, artha. Because the demigods, the devatas will fulfill your material desires. If you deserve it, then they will fulfill your material desires. Then once you have economic development, then what happens? Let's say one has a lot of money, no? Now he's going to engage in sense gratification. Oh, I have money, I'm going to enjoy my senses in so many different ways. So that leads to sense gratification. And when one engages in sense gratification over a period of time, again and again and again and again, there comes a point of frustration, because then the living entity realizes that I'm not getting any happiness. No, I'm not really very happy, because the hankering never stops. No, in sense gratification, the hankering will never stop. One will never be satisfied. If one wants to have a motorcycle, then he wants to have a car, then he wants to have a luxury car, then he wants to have a private jet. So the desires will never be fulfilled. So there comes a point when he's completely frustrated with this material world, and then ultimately he wants moksha. He wants to be liberated from this material world. So these are the four subject matters actually of the Vedas: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So you can see here, these are the different fruits here. Religiosity is here, economic development is here, sense gratification. These are the on the different branches here, and finally liberation is here, no, on the top of the tree. This water, this desire here is the water upon which the tree is reflected. Because we have desires only, this material world is existing. Because we have material desires, this material world is existing. The shadow of that tree is existing because there is a river. Because there is a river. So this is the analogy that is given for us to understand the material world and the spiritual world. Practically all material work is performed in ignorance, because there are three qualities, sometimes the quality of ignorance is covered with goodness or passion. The taste of these material fruits is accepted through five senses. So we are tasting these material fruits with our five senses. The five sense organs through which knowledge is acquired are subjected to six kinds of whips: lamentation, illusion, infirmity, death, hunger, and thirst. Infirmity means old age. This material body or material manifestation is covered by 7 layers. So there are 7 layers in the body: skin, muscle, blood, marrow, bone, fat, and semen. The branches of the tree are 8. So there are these 8 are the 5 gross elements and the 3 subtle elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Gross elements, mind, intelligence, and ego are the subtle elements. Then there are 9 gates in the body. So our body has 9 openings, 9 openings. So therefore, this body is called as a Navadwara Pure, or the city of 9 gates. So what are the 9 openings in the body? 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, 1 mouth, 1 genital, and 1 rectum. And there are 10 kinds of internal air passing within the body. So there are different kinds of air that are circulating within our body. So the 2 birds seated in this tree, as explained above, are the living entity and the localized supreme personality of Godhead, Paramatma. Yeah, Shailesh?
What does this mean? Ignorance, passion, and goodness. I don't understand this.
Okay, so there are 3 modes of material nature: tamoguna, rajoguna, and sattva-guna. These are the 3 modes of material nature. Everybody here in the material world is within one of these 3 modes. The conditioned living entity is within the influence of one of these 3 modes. So the mode of goodness is the best platform to take you beyond the material world, beyond the 3 modes. Okay, it is the best platform. But if you live a sattvic life, if you have good association, you're eating the right kind of food, you have the right habits, you sleep early, you get up early, you meditate, you chant your rounds early morning. So these are all sattvic habits. So that will keep you in the mode of goodness. Mode of passion means a lot of activity, no, very hyper. When one is very hyper and a lot of activity, going to the discotheque and all that is mode of passion. And ignorance means laziness and sleep. When somebody loves to sleep, one is very lazy, there is no activity at all, that is mode of ignorance. So there are foods in the 3 modes. There are different time zones in the day which are in the 3 modes, like that. But when one is situated in the mode of goodness, then he is well situated to go beyond the 3 modes. Because in the spiritual world, the mode is the mode of transcendental goodness, the Shuddha Sattva stage.
I will just say that I was referring to this because later on it says everyone thinks that Krishna is born under goodness, but that is not wrong. So I got tripped into that. This will come later, so you can maybe explain it at that time.
Okay, we'll see when it comes up. The root cause of material manifestation described here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expands himself to take charge of the 3 qualities of the material world. Vishnu takes charge of the mode of, so he takes charge, he's in charge of the mode of goodness. See, when we want to maintain something, it requires mode of goodness. No, Brahma takes charge of the mode of passion. When we want to create something, he is the secondary creator. Brahma is the secondary creator. He is the created creator. So to create something, we need passion. So he is in charge of the mode of passion, and Lord Shiva takes charge of the mode of ignorance. So Lord Shiva's service is to destroy, and when we have to destroy something, then it requires mode of ignorance. Now that doesn't mean that Lord Shiva is in the mode of ignorance. No, he's in charge of the mode of ignorance. See, this is the reason why one of Lord Shiva's name is Bhutnath. Bhutnath means he is a lord of the ghosts and the spirits, because he takes charge of them. Ghosts and spirits are in the mode of ignorance, and he is the well-wisher of them. So therefore, one of his names is Bhutnath. So we have to remember that this is the service that they have. That doesn't mean that they are in that mode. The whole creation ultimately rests in the Supreme Lord. He is the cause of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. So ultimately, of course, all the work ultimately is under the control of Krishna. At present, the demigods prayed. The Supreme Lord Krishna is appearing just for the maintenance of this manifestation. Actually, the Supreme Cause is one, but less intelligent persons, being deluded by the three modes of material nature, see that the material world is manifested through different causes. Those who are intelligent can see that the cause is one, Krishna, as it is stated in Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So Brahma Samhita is a set of prayers that was composed by Lord Brahma himself, and in that prayer he says, Ishvara Parama Krishna. So that means even Brahma is accepting that the Supreme Lord, Ishvara Parama, is none other than Krishna. So even great personalities like Brahma accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Brahma says Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana Karana means he is the cause of all causes. Anything that's happening is happening because Krishna is sanctioning it. Without Krishna sanctioning it, nothing can be possible. Even a leaf cannot turn by even 1 degree without Krishna's sanction. So Brahma is deputed agent for creation. Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna for maintenance. So see, Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna. It's not vice versa as it is generally believed by people. And Lord Shiva is the expansion of Krishna for dissolution. Our dear Lord, the demigods prayed, it is very difficult to understand your eternal form or personality. People in general are unable to understand your actual form. Therefore, you are personally descending to exhibit your original eternal form. So when Krishna appeared, he is coming in his original eternal form. Krishna's body is fully spiritual, and even when he comes to the material world, still Krishna's body is completely spiritual. There is no tinge of any materialism in his body. Somehow people can understand the different incarnations of your Lordship, but they are puzzled to understand the eternal form of Krishna with two hands moving among human beings exactly like one of them. So foolish people, they are puzzled. They think that Krishna is an ordinary person. Just because Krishna is moving around with other people like an ordinary living entity, that doesn't mean that he is an ordinary living entity. For example, even Duryodhan, he saw the universal form of Krishna. No, he manifested that form when Krishna went there as a peace messenger to Hastinapur. Krishna showed the universal form. Duryodhan even saw it, but still he thought that Krishna is an ordinary person, and he ordered his guards to go and capture Krishna. So that's the example of how people think that Krishna is an ordinary living entity. This eternal form of your Lordship gives ever-increasing transcendental pleasure to the devotees, but for the non-devotees, this form is very, very dangerous. So see, there are two sides. Krishna is very, very soft, like a soft lotus petal with his devotees. But when it comes to demons, then he can be as harsh, as hard as a thunderbolt. So we can see how in Krishna Lila, we will see future in the Krishna book, how he would be so ruthless with the demons. But actually, even the demons benefited, because all the demons that Krishna killed, ultimately they got liberated. But he can come down very heavily on the demons, but he's very, very soft and tender with the devotees. So as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is pleasing to the sadhus, but this form is very dangerous for the demons, because Krishna also descends to kill the demons. He is therefore simultaneously pleasing to the devotees and dangerous to the demons. Our dear lotus-eyed Lord, you are the source of pure goodness. There are many great sages who simply by samadhi or transcendently meditating upon your lotus feet and thus being absorbed in your thought have easily transformed the great ocean of nations created by the material nature into no more than the water in a calf's hoof print. So this we have seen in our previous classes, how when we surrender to Krishna, then the vast ocean, the vast water in the ocean can be reduced to the water that is held in the hoof print of a calf. So we can very easily cross over that water. So otherwise it's impossible to cross the vast ocean of birth and death. But when we surrender to Krishna, then one can very easily cross over it. So the demigods continue to pray, O self-illuminated one, the great saintly persons who have crossed over the ocean of nations by the help of the transcendental boat of your lotus feet have not taken away that boat. It is still lying on this side. So see, if one has to cross an ocean, one has taken the boat. So one has taken the boat, he has crossed from the material world, he has crossed over to the spiritual world. Then the boat has also gone with them, no? So the question is, so when one reaches the destination, how can the same boat be available to those who are still on this side? So the boat has already gone. So what about the others who are still on the material world? The boat has already taken the previous batch. So how will that boat be available to the others? So the answer is, actually there is no boat needed because that whole water was shrunk to the water in the calf's hoof print. So you don't need a boat to cross the water that is held in the calf's hoof print. No? So therefore the devotees do not need to take the boat to the other side. They simply cross the ocean immediately. Because the great saintly persons are compassionate toward all conditioned souls, the boat is still lying on this side. See, before we can continue with the prayers, we need to understand one very, very important concept. God, Krishna, absolute truth can be realized in three features. What are the three features? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So this Brahman effulgence is the light that is coming from the body of Krishna. Paramatma is the super soul who is residing in the heart of every living entity, in your heart, in my heart, in the heart of the small ant, even the heart of Lord Brahma. So Paramatma or Krishna as Paramatma is residing in the heart of each living entity. And then Bhagavan realization is when you realize God as a person, So God is a person like you and me, but he is the supreme person. No, he's Purushottama. He is the supreme person. So Krishna can be realized with three features: Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. So if somebody says that God is a light, it is correct. It is not wrong. But if you say God is only a light, then that statement is faulty because Krishna is not only the light. He is the light. He is also Paramatma. He is also Bhagavan. Now, if you can accept that God is a person, if you really accept that God is a person, then you can say that you are more advanced than 99% of the world population. So here you can see this particular yogi is meditating on the light. This particular yogi is meditating on the super soul. And this particular person is meditating on Krishna as a person. Krishna as a person. So a person here, this person, what kind of mukti he gets? His soul will merge into the light. Merge into the light. But what happens there is, when he is merged in the light, because he is the soul and the soul never dies, he just exists over there. He's just existing in that light, but there is no activity. No, he's only existing. Now, what he gets over there is a lot of peace. No, after all this hodgepodge and hankering and all this crazy things going on in the material world, now he gets a lot of peace in that Brahma Jyoti. But how long can you exist without doing any activity? Because the soul by nature needs some activity. So what happens is he gets bored. He gets bored and then he falls down again. He falls down again. Now this person here, after he realizes the Paramatma, he can perceive this form in his heart. No, a Paramatma yogi, he can actually see that form of the Paramatma in his heart. We cannot see, the Paramatma is there in our hearts, but we cannot see him yet, right? But this Paramatma yogi, when he attains perfection, he can actually perceive that Paramatma form in his heart. But now what happens? He is then now hankering because he wants to see the form again. He wants to have active association. He wants to serve that beautiful form of that Lord. Who was that beautiful personality? Now he wants to serve him. So then that will lead to him to the next realization, which is the Bhagavan realization. In Bhagavan realization, one can actually associate with the Lord as a person, So see here, you have these three different transcendentalists. He is meditating on the Brahma Jyoti, he is meditating on the Paramatma, and he is meditating on the Bhagavan form of the Lord. So this we need to understand before we proceed, otherwise we will not understand this text. So meditation means concentration upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Lotus feet indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those who are impersonalists, now who are the impersonalists? Impersonalists are those people who believe that God does not have a form. He is not a person. They believe that he is only a light. So the Brahmavadis are the impersonalists. So they do not recognize the lotus feet of the Lord. Why? Because if God doesn't have a form, he cannot have any feet. He has no legs, he has no hands, he has no mouth, he has no face. So they are the impersonalists. Therefore, their object of meditation is something impersonal. The demigods express their mature verdict that persons who are interested in meditating on something void or impersonal cannot cross over the ocean of nations. They cannot cross over this ocean of birth and death because they will exist in that light when they attain perfection. But at some point, they are going to fall down because you cannot just exist without doing no activity. That's not possible for the jiva. That's not possible for the soul. Such persons are simply imagining that they have become liberated. O lotus-eyed Lord, their intelligence is contaminated because they fail to meditate upon the lotus feet of your Lordship. As a result of this neglectful activity, the impersonalists fall down again into the material way of conditioned life, although they may temporarily rise to the point of impersonal realization. This is what we discussed. Now, temporarily they are there to the point of impersonal realization, but then they fall down again into the material way of conditioned life. So thus they fall down. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the impersonal has to go through great tribulation in realizing his ultimate goal. At the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also stated that without devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve liberation to the bondage of fruitive activities. So, the only way to attain bondage of fruitive activities or attain bondage from materialistic activities, attain bondage from this material world is devotional service. Bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. The impersonalists simply think that they are liberated, but actually they have no feeling for the Supreme Personality of God. So they don't have any feeling because there is no emotion involved, because for them God is not a person. God is only a light. They think that when Krishna comes to the material world, he accepts a material body. So as we discussed, when Krishna comes to the material world, his body is still completely spiritual. It's not that he's accepting a material body like us. We have to accept a material body. Our body is material. Why it is material? How do we know? Because our body is growing old. Our body is getting a disease. We get gray hair. We get wrinkles. No, our body is subject to birth and death. But Krishna's body is not like that. Even when he was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was, by material calculation, 125 years old, but he looked like a 16-year-old boy. So Krishna doesn't grow old. Krishna doesn't get a disease. No, he does not. He is not born and die. He doesn't die. He appears and he disappears. So they overlook the transcendental body of Krishna. If they are engaged just in knowing things for the sake of knowledge and do not take to devotional service of the Lord, they cannot achieve the desired result. So until you do not take to devotional service, until you do not engage in bhakti, we cannot cross over this ocean of birth and death. See this in this verse from Bhagavad Gita 12.5. Krishna says that for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very, very troublesome, Krishna says. Klesho, he says klesho. So advantage is very troublesome. Adhika taras. Adhika taras means very, very much troublesome. Klesho adhika taras. So advancement is very, very troublesome for those people who are attached to the impersonal feature of the Supreme. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that to realize Brahman identification is not the last word in self-realization. So realizing Brahman is not the last word. It is not the ultimate goal. It's not the ultimate goal. One has to take to devotional service. One has to take to bhakti. So if one wants permanent residence in the kingdom of Godhead, in association with Godhead, then one has to engage in bhakti. One has to engage in devotional service. Those who are devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead never fall down like the impersonalists. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that if you are my, he promises that once you come back to me, then you will not fall down again. So that is Krishna's promise. Because one may say that, okay, I engage in bhakti, I follow the regulated principles, I chant 16 rounds, I go to the spiritual world. But again, if I have to come back again here, then what is the use? So Krishna promises, once you come to me, you will not go back again. So Krishna says, my devotees are never vanquished. Yeah, Shailesh?
What is Brahman identification?
Okay, so Brahman identification means we realize the absolute truth in three features: Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So Brahman identification is that realizing God only as a light, or believing that God is only a light. Okay.
So becoming an impersonalist.
Yes. An impersonalist believes in Brahman realization.
Okay.
Our dear Lord, the demigods continued, you have appeared in your original unalloyed form. So demigods are saying that, yes, Krishna, you have appeared in your original pure form, spiritual form, no? The eternal form of goodness for the welfare of all living entities. So he has come for the welfare of all living entities. He has come for our welfare. He has come to attract us so that we have the desire to go to him. No, that's why Krishna is called as the Leela Purushottam. He appears, he performs unparalleled pastimes. So we are attracted to Krishna. And when we are attracted to Krishna, we will develop the desire to be with Krishna. And when we have the desire to be with Krishna, we will take to the path that requires us to engage in so that we can go back to him. Taking advantage of your appearance, all of them can now very easily understand the nature and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who belong to the four divisions of society, the brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis can all take advantage of your appearance. So it's not that only the brahmacharis can, only the grihasthas can know, but everyone, whether one is a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyas, everyone can take advantage of the appearance of Krishna. My dear Lord, husband of the goddess of fortune. What name of Krishna means that he is the husband of the goddess of fortune?
Lakshmipati.
Madhav.
Madhava, yes.
Lakshmi
Madhava means
Mat.
he is the husband of the goddess of fortune. So one may be Lakpati, Karodpati, but only Krishna is Lakshmipati. So, dear Lord, husband of the goddess of fortune, devotees who are dovetailed in your service do not fall down from their high position like the impersonalists. Being protected by you, the devotees are able to traverse over the heads of many of Maya's commanders in chief who can put stumbling blocks on the path of liberation. So, which Maya is this who puts stumbling blocks on the path of liberation? Yoga Maya or Mahamaya?
Mahamaya.
Mahamaya, yes, very nice.
Mahamaya.
Thank you. Yes, so Mahamaya is always going to put blocks, stumbling blocks, because she does her service to perfection. Always there are going to be tests and temptations and stumbling blocks for in the way of our bhakti. But we have to be determined. We have to be determined and we have to proceed day after day after day after day. Yes, stick to your sadhana, stick to the four principles, stick to your chanting, your 16 rounds, minimum 16 rounds, and day after day after day, then we can defeat Maya. Dear Lord, if you did not appear in your eternal transcendental form, full of bliss and knowledge, a form which can eradicate all kinds of speculative ignorance about your position, then all people would simply speculate about you according to their respective modes of material nature. So, because Krishna has appeared in his original form, we know exactly who is God, what does he look like. We even know what is the color of his clothes, what is the musical instrument he plays, what is it that he likes. We know everything because Krishna has personally come and he has shown it to us. So there is no need for us to speculate. Maybe God is like this. Maybe he likes to eat that. Maybe he dresses up like this. God is not that personality who's sitting on a throne with a very serious face, with a long white beard and a strict taskmaster. No, God is a simple cowherd boy. The appearance of Krishna is the answer to all our imaginative iconography of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone imagines the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to his mode of material nature. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Lord is the oldest person. So yes, God is the oldest person, but that doesn't mean Krishna is an old man with a walking stick. No, he's still he's fresh youth. He has his eternal form as a fresh youth. So he is the oldest person, but he is residing in Goloka as eternally as a 16-year-old boy. He's fresh youth. This knowledge is Ajnana Bhidapa Marjanam, which means that it can smash all kinds of speculation and ignorance. There is no need for us to speculate anything about Krishna. There is no doubt. We know Krishna's form, Krishna's fruit, Krishna's color, everything is reality. So here it is said that this Vijnanam is always defeating all kinds of speculative knowledge. So there are two things. One is Jnana and one is Vijnana. Jnana means theoretical knowledge. Vijnana means realized knowledge. Theoretical knowledge, Jnana, we can get by reading books. But Vijnana means application of that knowledge. When we apply that knowledge, then we get realizations. We see how it's so true that Krishna reciprocates with his devotees. So that is realized knowledge. So Brahma, on the basis of his realized knowledge only, he has composed his Brahma Samhita. So these extra slides you can read when I share it in the group. The highest blunder committed by the impersonalist is to think that when the incarnation of God comes, he accepts the form of matter in the mode of goodness. So the impersonalists, what they think is God actually is not a person. But when the Lord appears, then he is getting mixed with the mode of goodness, and therefore extraordinary personalities like Krishna and Rama, they appear, and therefore they have some extraordinary powers and potencies. Now, this is what the impersonalists believe. Actually, the form of Krishna or Narayan is transcendental to any material idea. Even the great impersonalist Shankaracharya has admitted Narayana Paro Vyakta. The material creation is caused by the Avyakta, impersonal manifestation of matter, or the non-phenomenal total reservoir of matter. But Krishna is transcendental to that material conception. Thus, that is expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam as Shuddha Sattva or transcendental goodness. So, Krishna is not in the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. He is in the Shuddha Sattva stage, or he is transcendental. He is even beyond the mode of goodness. He belongs to the transcendental, eternal status of bliss and knowledge. This is Krishna. Doesn't matter whether he's in the spiritual world or he's in the material world. So there are different names of Krishna that are given here. Krishna is called Shyama Sundara because of his transcendental beauty. Shyama means black. So this is what the name Shyama Sundara means. He is more beautiful than thousands of cupids. What name of Krishna means that he can defeat even thousands of cupids?
Madana Mohan.
Madana Mohana, yes. So Krishna is that personality who can defeat thousands of cupids. And Srimati Radharani, her name is
Madana
Madana
Mohana
Mohini.
Exactly,
Madana
Madana Mohana Mohini. So she is that personality who attracts the one person who can attract even thousands of cupids. That is the position of Srimati Radharani. Okay, then you are called Giridhari because you lifted the hill known as Govardhan. You are called Nandanandana or Vasudeva or Devaki Nandana because you appear as a son of Maharaj Nanda or Vasudev or Devaki. See, when we refer to Krishna, we say Vasudev. And when we refer to his father, we say Vasudev. So Vasudev is Krishna's father and Vasudev is Krishna. We should not get confused. When there is a line on top of an alphabet in Sanskrit, we pronounce that alphabet as double. So we say this as Vasudev and this is Vasudev. There is no line on top of the A. Impersonalists think that your many forms are given according to a particular type of work and quality because they accept you from the position of a material observer. Our dear Lord, the way of understanding is not to study your absolute nature, form, and activity by mental speculation. So we should not understand God by our own mental speculation. Oh, maybe it is like this, maybe it is like that, this must be like this must be that. No mental speculation. One must engage himself in devotional service. Then one can understand your absolute nature and your transcendental form. So when we engage in bhakti, then Krishna reveals himself to us. The more we advance in our spiritual life, in that proportion, Krishna will reveal himself to us. Otherwise, one will go on speculating for millions of years, but it is not possible for them to understand even a single part of your actual position. Krishna cannot be understood by non-devotees because there is a curtain of Yoga Maya which covers Krishna's actual features. He was actually present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and everyone saw him, but not everyone could understand that he was a supreme personality of Godhead. Still, everyone who died in his presence attained complete liberation from material bondage and was transferred to the spiritual world. So Krishna is so merciful. Everyone who was present, everyone who died there in his presence in that Kurukshetra war, everyone got liberation. Oh Lord, the impersonalists or non-devotees cannot understand that your name is identical with your form. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his name and his form. So there is no difference between Krishna's name and his form. They are non-different from each other. The mango fruit is different from the name of the mango. One cannot taste the mango fruit simply by chanting mango, mango, mango. But the devotee who knows that there is no difference between the name and the form of the Lord chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and realizes that he is always in Krishna's company. So Krishna's name and Krishna, they are not different from each other. When we chant the name of Krishna, we are actually associating with Krishna. There is no difference between the transcendental pastimes and the form of the Lord. So there is no difference between Krishna Leela also and the Lord himself. So that is also, they are non-different from each other. For those who are less intelligent, the great sage Vyasadeva wrote the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, Krishna is present in his different activities. The Mahabharata is history, and simply by studying and hearing and memorizing the transcendental activities of Krishna, the less intelligent can also gradually rise to the standard of pure devotees. So actually, Vyasadeva has composed Mahabharata for the less intelligent people. If you see, Mahabharata has all the elements of, let's say, a masala Bollywood movie. There is action, there is romance, there is politics, there are villains, there are heroes, there are heroines. No, there are so everything. So it's so fully action packed. So it is very, very attractive for even the less intelligent people. And when you read Mahabharata, read, and then suddenly you come to Bhagavad Gita, which is pure transcendental knowledge. So one says, okay, I've read all this. So what is Bhagavad? So one is forced to read Bhagavad Gita because Bhagavad Gita comes right in the climax of the Mahabharata. Now, the war is just about to begin. Right in the climax, Krishna speaks the Bhagavad Gita. So actually, Mahabharata, it is described how Vyasadeva has composed for the less intelligent people. The pure devotees who are always absorbed in the thought of transcendental lotus feet of Krishna and who are always engaged in devotional service and full Krishna consciousness are never to be considered to be in the material world. Srila Rupa Goswami has explained that those who are always engaged in Krishna consciousness with mind, body and activities are to be considered liberated even within this body. So a devotee, a pure devotee, externally he may be present in the material world, but because he is a pure devotee, it is considered that he is in the spiritual realm. So for a pure devotee, it does not matter whether he is in the spiritual world or he is in the material world. Because in the material world also, he is going to be engaging his mind, body and actions in the service of Krishna. And in the spiritual world also, he is going to be doing exactly that. So it doesn't matter for a pure devotee whether he is in the material world or he is in the spiritual world. All that a pure devotee wants, he wants to serve Krishna. So even though he may be in the material world, it is still to be considered that he is not in the material world. Krishna appears in order to give a chance to both devotees and non-devotees for realization of the ultimate goal of life. The devotees get the direct chance to see him and worship him. Those who are not on that platform get the chance to become acquainted with his activities and thus become elevated to the same position. Oh, dear Lord, oh Supreme Controller, when you appear on earth, all the demons like Kamsa and Jarasandha will be vanquished and all good fortune will be ushered into the world. When you walk on the globe, your lotus feet will impress on the ground the marks of your soul, such as the flag, the trident, and the thunderbolt. Thus you will grace both the earth and us on the heavenly planets who shall see those marks. So actually, even the Devatas, they cannot see the footprints of Krishna. But they are able to see now because Krishna has come to the material world. Therefore, they are able to see those marks. Otherwise, they cannot see because Krishna is in Goloka. The Devatas are still in the material world in Swarga Loka. My dear Lord, the demigods continued, you are unborn. Therefore, we do not find any reason for your appearance other than your pleasurable pastimes. Although the reason for the appearance of the Lord is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, he descends just to give protection to devotees and vanquish the non-devotees. Actually, he descends for his pleasure meeting with the devotees, not really to vanquish the non-devotees. So see, the chief goal of Krishna's appearance is actually he's coming only for his devotees. No, the secondary work there, or what he does, is vanquishing the demons. But he's coming for his devotees. The non-devotees can be vanquished simply by one kick of material nature. The actions and reactions of material nature are being carried out automatically, but simply by taking shelter of your holy name, the devotees are fully protected because your holy name and your personality are non-different. The protection of the devotees and the annihilation of non-devotees are actually not the business of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he descends, it is just for his transcendental pleasure. There cannot be any other reason for his appearance. My dear Lord, you are appearing as the best of the Yadu dynasty, and we are offering our transcendental, humble obeisances unto the lotus feet. Before this appearance, you also appeared as the fish incarnation, as the horse incarnation, as the tortoise incarnation, as the half man, half lion incarnation, as the boar incarnation, as the swan incarnation, as King Ramachandra, as Parshuram, and as many other incarnations. You appeared just to protect the devotees, and we request you in your present appearance as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself to give us similar protection all over the three worlds and remove all obstacles for the peaceful execution of our lives. My dear Devaki, within your womb is the Supreme Personality of Godhead appearing along with all his plenary extensions. What does the name plenary mean? We saw in the previous class. All the
The
qualities.
same potency.
What's
Same potency, all the qualities. Same potency as the Krishna.
Exactly the same potency as Krishna. So the plenary expansions of Krishna have the same potency as Krishna. Very nice. Thank you. He is the original personality of Godhead appearing for our welfare. Therefore, you should not be afraid of your brother, the king of Bhoja. Your son, Lord Krishna, who is the original personality of Godhead, will appear for the protection of the pious Yadu dynasty. The Lord is appearing not alone but accompanied by his immediate plenary portion, Baladev. Devaki was very much afraid. So see, after addressing Krishna in the womb, now they are addressing Devaki. The last part of this chapter, they are addressing Devaki. Devaki was very much afraid of her brother Kamsa because he had already killed so many of her children, but she was very anxious about Krishna. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated that in order to pacify Devaki, all the demigods along with their wives used to visit her to encourage her not to be afraid that her son would be killed by Kamsa. Krishna, who was within her womb, was to appear not only to diminish the burden of the world, but specifically to protect the interests of the Yadu dynasty and certainly to protect Devaki and Vasudev. It is understood that Krishna had been transferred from the mind of Vasudev to the mind of Devaki and from there to her womb. Thus, all the demigods worship Devaki, the mother of Krishna. After thus worshipping the transcendental form of the Lord, all the demigods, with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva placed in front, departed for their heavenly abodes. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the second chapter of Krishna, prayers by the demigods for Lord Krishna in the womb. So with that, we come to the end of today's presentation. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yes, Shailesh.
Just wanted to ask, why is Mahamaya, who's an extension of the Lord Vishnu, why does she put obstacles in our path?
Yeah, because that is the service that is given to her by Krishna to test the conditioned souls. Do you really want Krishna? Or are you really focused? Are you really determined? Or are you going to get distracted by other things? So she tests our sincerity by bringing up these temptations. So that is a service that is allotted to her, and she does her service to perfection. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji, just now you mentioned the plenary extensions are what? I missed that.
Plenary expansions of Krishna have the same potency as Krishna.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Shreya?
Yes, Manjuji, so these prayers by the demigods, were they heard by Devki as well?
Yes, yes. Because they are also addressing Devaki, no? In the end. Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Sorry, I missed it. Mahamaya, she's in the service to test whether some devotee is in the true path for Krishna consciousness, right?
Who? Mahamaya.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Yogmaya, she's like to put hurdles or like.
No, Yogamaya, she acts in such a way that will bring the devotees closer to Krishna. For example,
Yogamaya.
Yogamaya, yes, Yogamaya.
Okay.
For example, the residents of Vrindavan, they are under the influence of Yogamaya, and that's why the residents of Vrindavan forget that Krishna is God. So Yashoda forgets that Krishna is God, because if she knows that my son is God, immediately her relationship with her son would be of reverence. No, she'll be
Yeah,
offering
correct.
obeisances. So Yoga Maya makes Yashoda and the residents of Vrindavan forget that Krishna is God. So that makes them go closer to Krishna. They have a more intimate relationship with Krishna. So Yoga Maya
Okay.
takes devotees closer to Krishna, and Mahamaya takes the the faithless away from Krishna.
Ah, okay. But Mahamaya will test the devotees also? Because we devotees are always in the influence of Yogamaya.
Okay, so when you say devotees, there are devotees who are not yet 100% pure devotees. So pure devotees will not be tested because they have already passed the test of time. But let's say
Okay.
struggling devotees or those who are trying to be devotees, yes, they are tested by
Mahamaya.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Gokul Priya?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My question is, when you said like material elements are inferior energy of Krishna, so those rivers, mountains, they come under that category?
Yes, yes.
If so, we have holy rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Govardhan. We worship them and we pray to them as superior.
No, no.
How do we
No,
understand?
no. Transcendental rivers, they do not come under this category because, for example, Govardhan is non-different from Krishna again. So you cannot say that Govardhan is material. No, we are talking about the other, uh, not these transcendental rivers or mountains. We are talking about the other ordinary rivers and mountains.
Okay,
That is
thank you.
not the material.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Anything else? Can we share the exam link? Yes.
Exam.
Shantaram and Sheetal Latkar. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
I can't see you. Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Now I can hear you. There is an echo.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Now yes.
Hello.
Now,
Hello.
yes.
It's okay. I'll send you a mail.
Sure. You can write
I'll
it.
send you a mail.
Okay, okay. I'll wait for it. Yeah, Sri Radhe Hari.
Hare Krishna Mataji, if the class was not heard on my end because of some technical problem, can I take the text?
I'll send the mail.
Because I had to connect back up again because the voice couldn't be, it was just not coming so well. Something is wrong with my mic or something.
So what?
So the class was heard, but not like, I couldn't hear that much. It was coming very low.
Okay, so what should I do?
Nothing, I'm just asking you, can I take the test like the next?
Okay, you can take the text in the next class, but then you have to log out of the Zoom right now because so that you don't have access to the exam link.
Okay.
Okay, Hari Bol, thank you. Okay. Anything else? Okay, I'll put up the link right now. And your exam link coming up right now. Here you go. The time starts now.